Hello, and welcome to another episode of Netflix Picks. Today, we're going to talk about the art house film Delta Farce, starring beloved comedians Larry the Cable Guy and Bill Engvall. It might not sound like something you would want to consider watching, but trust me when I say that it is perhaps one of the finest commentaries on our times, and something that... Okay, seriously, you didn't actually think that I was going to suggest this movie, did you? Are you really looking for something to watch this week? Have you somehow missed out on the fact that Marvel's Daredevil series premiered last week? Come on now. If you haven't seen it yet, my actual recommendation for this week's Netflix picks is, of course, Daredevil. Not only is this series premiere excellent, it's undeniably superior to almost every other superhero series currently running, and there's a very good reason for that. As I've said many times before, doing a series through Netflix allows you to go much further than you might have been able to through other means. After all, unlike broadcast and cable networks, their main concern isn't necessarily catering to everyone and making sure that the content they provide isn't too offensive. Instead, Netflix is free to cater content to pretty much any and all niche markets they wish, and they are not held back as much by movie or television studios, as their only concern is retaining and gaining subscribers. Thanks to that level of freedom, they've been able to produce award-winning content on the same level as something produced by HBO, a similarly free and open space for creators. It is also thanks to this freedom that this gritty, dark, and realistic take on Daredevil finds its way to our screens. There were several times throughout the series that I found myself remarking at the violence and dark themes that simply would not have been allowed on broadcast television. Shows like Gotham feel tame in comparison to this, and I instead found myself making comparisons to the original film based on The Crow, the new dark and disturbing Hannibal series, and even the original HBO animated Spawn series. Some of the brutal action in Daredevil is so beautifully shot that it was honestly better than some big budget action films out there, pulling inspiration from sources like Old Boy, Children of Men, and The Raid. Daredevil manages to pack an incredibly powerful punch that will have viewers wincing at the sheer lack of humanity on display in Hell's Kitchen. As for how closely it sticks to the origins, I can't comment too much on that because I'm simply not familiar enough with the story. I will say that I'm fairly sure it is more faithful than other interpretations have been, and that there is a lot more going on in this show that fits in with the MCU than you might at first expect. To put it simply, you need to watch this show. If you haven't already, get on it immediately. You will not regret it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned next week for another Netflix Picks.